here we are back for the final, hopefully final, round 1 game in Firestorm Sicily. Let's take a close look at the armies. For the British landing in Catania, we have, to start with, a minimum strength para company. We have 3 maxed out para platoons with the 6 Bren gun teams, and the 1 Bren and 2-inch mortar team, and a Piat team each. And then using 4 of the 3-inch Canadian mortars I have to represent para mortars, as unfortunately I haven't been able to get a hold of any of the actual para weapons yet. And that will be the Airlanding company with their HQ. In support, we have a flight of Kitty Hawks, we have the Firestorm Sherman troop of 3 Shermans, and we have a 8th Army Motor Rifle Company that will be coming to the rescue after the break of dawn. In that company, we've got the HQ, 2 platoons with 4 Bren guns, a 2-inch mortar, and a Boys anti-tank rifle, a minimum-sized 2-tube mortar platoon, 3-inch, and 3 carriers scout sections, and then some paper-printed horse gliders for the para boys to land in. And that will be the air landing force in Catania. For the Italian defenders, we have a Fucilieri company with 3 platoons of Breda Breda rifle teams, a platoon of 3 Bredas on the left, 3 81mm in the center, and 3, I think they're 47mm anti-tank guns there on the right, with their HQ at the back. And in support, we have the 100mm howitzer platoon, the 3 Semivente di 90 somethings, which I honestly can't remember off the top of my head, sorry. A platoon of 3 R35s, and 1 maxed out platoon of German Fallschirmjäger with 10 MG34 teams, 2 Schwer MG34 teams, and a 2.8cm anti-tank rifle. And that will be the defending Germans in this mission. Well, sorry, the defending Axis in this mission. Let's take a look at the table. Our table for today, loosely representing the Primsola Bridge area. We have a central road that will be the main objective, along with the bridge over the river at the end, as you can see down there, flanked by trees and some buildings and hills. And we are using this table today to represent the British 1st Airborne attempting to seize vital crossroads and, vital bridgeheads and roads along the main axis of advance from Syracuse to Messina. Okay, here we have the table and armies deployed. So we started by placing objectives. I placed the SS one over there on the bridge. Bree placed one on that crossroads there and one along the roadway. I then deployed my 40% of my force, which is 3 Fucilieri rifle teams, the company command, and the platoon of Bredas. Bredas are guarding the bridge. Fucilieri platoon A there, B there, C there, all starting pinned down once again. So then Bree is going to remove one of her 2 objectives that she placed, and we'll launch straight into round 1.
Okay. Do you want me to remove it now?
That one? Okay. So let's get to turn 1. One thing to note, we are playing the season hold mission, but we are modifying it slightly. The defender is still deploying his 40% reserves, as you can see, his 40% on table with the rest of reserves, as you can see, while the attacker normally would place 60% of their force, but just to keep things a little bit more thematic, Bree is only going to be using the air landing portion with the gliders at the start, and instead of scattered immediate reserves, it's going to be scattered delayed reserves, starting on turn 3, and we're automatically going to go to dawn on turn 3 to represent elements of 8th Army finally arriving to support. So we've rolled for wind direction for glider landing. It's going to be that far corner there. So we're going to start placing gliders and see how the first turn movement goes. Turn 1 movement for the British. And we are already putting the Italians on the back foot as the gliders have come in. One of them did not land on table, forcing the platoon to arrive via scatter reserve rule. They came in on that corner. Platoon A with the company command teams landed against the hill without crashing, and were able to dismount and move up along the riverbed. And Platoon B with the mortars landed right next to the main objective and have started to encroach upon it, with the mortars falling back into cover. So we're going to go into shooting and see if the British can clear off some Italians. Okay, British shooting phase. What are we doing, hun?
Okay, so this paratroop team is going to fire into that Italian team.
Okay.
I have 4 Brens here that can fire, as well as an overhead mortar that can fire.
Yep, and we're not going to shoot the P at this turn.
Nope.
For these ones, we do not need to roll line of sight, because, I mean, if you roll the 1, it's 4 inches and you can see me.
Yeah.
I might as well roll it, actually. Some teams might not. Just roll a die for line of sight range for night. You can definitely see me. Okay. So I am careful, 4+.
Mm-hmm.
I am concealed, 5+.
Mm-hmm.
I am technically gone to ground because I haven't moved a shot this turn, 6+.
Mm-hmm.
And it is night fighting, so 7s. And the white die we're rolling here is the mortar. So the mortar has a chance to hit, so re-rolling that on a 5 or 6, it does not hit. All right, so that's that platoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then what other platoons? We have Bravo platoon coming out of the glider. You'll need to roll their line of sight as well. They can see, and then the front 2 Bren gun teams, possibly actually the front 3 with that command team, yeah, can shoot up the hill. So 3 shots there. Hitting on 7s as well. It's a nice change of pace for my Italians. And then the last platoon over there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bren gun teams that could potentially fire. So we're going to roll line of sight. Definitely can see me.
Yep.
And then 5 shots hitting on 7s. 2 6s potentially hitting. Oh, a hit! Awesome.
Yay!
All right, go ahead and assign that hit, huh? I will grab an Italian die.
Shot that poor fellow in the back.
Guy in the back there. All right, so he saves.
Okay.
All right, that'll be the shooting phase. We're going to contemplate any assaults, and we'll be right back. All right, we are going to do an assault phase. Take us through it, huh?
So just measured in that I have 5 teams here that can make their way just barely in to attack. So we're going to
move them up, and then we'll be
up.
right back to do defensive fire and the rolls. All right, so we've moved in. We've got, as Bree said, 5 teams in contact. I've got 9 rifle MG teams who are pinned down, so moving right to fire. The British are being shot through cover, so it is concealment, and it is night fighting, so hitting on 6s for a single hit, which I will put on your team right there.
Okay.
If you want to roll a save for me.
He saves.
Saves. All right, so now, what is their skill for assault?
Let me just double check. I think it was 3. Yep, 3+ for assault.
All right, so we'll do this one at a time because you've got teams on multiple dudes. So him to this team there. Nope. These 2 on. Sorry, the boys or the Piat might have a separate assault rating.
Assault 4.
Okay, so he's hitting on 4. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
multiple
he's white.
colored. Okay. No.
Nope.
Okay. These 2 teams.
Okay. That one is white, just to make life
Oh,
easy.
okay. Doing them at the same time. You kill this team here. Okay.
Okay.
So can you pick that trait
I
up?
felled a tree, apparently. One of the guys that missed hit a tree.
Apparently. What is my counterattack? Because I didn't expect that. Looks like my counterattack is a reluctant 5+. Let's see if I can make this. No, so all right, I fell back. Bree will do her consolidation move, and we'll move straight into the Italian turn. Okay, first Italian turn, we're going to do the command step first. We're going to start by trying to unpin some stuff. So the rally on the Fucilieri, like the coastal defense, is still a 4+. So on this platoon here, they will unpin. This platoon in the shrubs, they will not unpin. But the commander reroll is nearby, so they will unpin.
Okay.
The Beretta machine guns up here on the hill, they will unpin. That's good. And lastly, that platoon over there facing off against 2 para platoons will unpin. And then the defender is getting immediate scattered reserves to represent whatever troops available being rushed into the fight. So 1 roll on a 5+. Do you want me to reroll that?
Nope, you're fine.
All right, I will take that. I will choose, and I'll let you know what unit I've chosen in my movement step as I move it on.
Okay.
Or after I move it on.
Yep.
Okay, so for my reserves, I chose my delightfully small R35 platoon.
They are dinky.
They tactical 6 inches, and they terrain dash 10.
Yeah, and their front armor is 3.
Yeah. I don't even want to look at their gun stats right now. So they scattered reserved. I rolled a 4, so they're coming in from that corner there. Measured 16 inches up and dashed forward. The rest of my movement, this platoon advanced to the right. This platoon left their foxholes to try and help out here. The Braiders are staying stationary, and that platoon over on the hilltop is also staying stationary to use the advantage of foxholes against the paras as best they can.
Okay.
So we are going to move on into shooting.
All right.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Braiders over here are going to shoot into the platoon on the other side of the riverbank from them. They will have full line of sight, except for this dude here because of the hill. So the two of them will shoot. They are stationary and unpinned, so their rate of fire is
You just
6.
pulled the camera when you turned it. Just
That's okay.
jerk.
My viewers won't mind too much, I hope. Sorry for that, guys. So
Microphone cords.
12 shots. You're under 16. You are not in concealment to me, but it is nighttime, and you are careful, so I'll be hitting on 5s on them. I'll get a few hits. That's good. Actually, I'll get just enough to pin them, too. So 5 hits. I only have line of sight really to the 2 teams, so they're the only 2 valid targets.
Okay.
So one team will take 3, another team will take 2.
Okie dokie.
So Bree's just going to shuffle over, grab some dice. Sorry for the camera, folks. Well, maybe we'll leave all the dice over here for now.
That's probably smart. Trying to move around with this new microphone set has been interesting. So the team with 3
is dead.
Okay.
And the team with 2
is dead.
Awesome. So they will get pinned. We'll put a marker down after. Next, the platoon over here on the hill. These guys no longer have a target because they were going to shoot there. So instead, this guy, and this guy will shoot down the hill there with stationary rate of fire 2, as they are Breda rifle teams. I said 5, right? 1, 2, 3. No, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 8 shots. Once again, hitting on 5s and not rolling for line of sight because the para platoon shot last turn, so they're lit up. And they are not in concealment. They are simply a night. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So.
5. Oh, 4.
4.
Sorry, I thought there was another one.
It's okay, I know how to count. So we'll just put 1 on each of the teams at the front. So you can just roll them all at the same time, and we'll let you remove whichever casualties you want. So you lost 2 there. We'll grab those in a second. And we'll move on to here now. So we got 2 platoons that are going to shoot into here. I'm going to start with the one on the left. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Breda Carcano rifle machine gun platoons that can shoot. Now I am shooting through cover, so I will be hitting on a 6. Will not be slow firing because I'm not a rifle platoon. I am a machine gun rifle platoon. So moving rate of fire 1, 4 teams. You're concealed. You are at night, and you start on a 4. So 4, 5, 6. I'll get a hit. I'll put on this team here. If you would mind rolling for me, please. Saves. Okay. And then same thing with this platoon here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 teams. Line of sight to fire. Moving rate of fire 1. Getting 1 hit, which I will put on this team here, if you wouldn't mind throwing a save.
Which team where, sorry?
This one right here.
Perfect.
Saves. Okay, so that unfortunately does not pin them, and I'm not sure. Am I even within 4 yet? I mean, I am technically within 4 inches of the objective, so it wouldn't be an automatic win on Bree's part. Next turn. Oh, well, it would.
It has to be turn 6 or later, it said, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
never mind.
Sure. I can double check.
We'll double check that and possibly come back with an assault phase.
Okay.
So we just confirmed it is on or after the 6th turn that they have to wait till to win. So I didn't actually need to mad dash out like that. So I may regret that choice. But I've made my bed, so I'm going to lay in it. I'm not going to assault because I could not pin down that unit. We are going to move into British turn 2.
Okay.
Okay, so British command step, turn 2. We've got to unpin that one paraplatoon all the way over there. So they are fearless. Bree's going to step around to the die tray here. On 3+, they unpin.
They do not.
Perfect. So we'll move on to the British movement step and be right back. In the British movement step, they stayed stationary because, I mean, that just makes sense. They're on the point, and they are wanting to shoot over each other. Over there, they were pinned, so they did not move, and that platoon just kind of advanced to maximize their ability to shoot up the hill. So we're going to move on to the shooting steps. All right, honey, let us know what you're going to do.
All right, so the mortars are going to try and range in using him as a spotter onto your...
My Breda's there?
Yep.
All right, and then that platoon is going to...
shoot that platoon coming down the hill.
Okay. You said the pinned down platoon, one of them had line of sight up the hill, that very front command team.
Yep.
And then, I mean, obviously that other platoon
is going to attempt to eradicate you. We're going to see how it happens.
So let's start with the bombardment. You were wanting to place it about there, so you hit all 3 of the Bredas. Yep. Now there is terrain in the form of the tree and the rock underneath that adds +1, and we're bombarding at night, which adds another +1. So what was the skill on the mortars?
They were 4.
All right, so you're going to range in on a 6.
Yep.
First attempt. Nope. Second attempt. Close. Third attempt.
Nope.
No. Unfortunate.
Okay.
All right, so what do you want to do next?
We'll shoot...
these guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Bren rifle teams, one of which is technically also a 2-inch mortar if she wanted to fire it. She's opting just to use sheer firepower. So 14 shots hitting me on 5s because I'm careful and it's night fighting, but I'm not in concealment.
Anything in 5s?
Yes.
Only 2 hits.
Okay.
These Canadian dice are usually fantastic. Today they're just like, nah, screw you.
Apparently. And then who do you want to assign them to? Just, I guess, the front teams. It doesn't really matter.
Just,
they're all the same team. Okay. And I'll say both.
Okay.
All right, so now we have 1 pinned firing rate, so movement rate of fire up the hill. So 1 shot hitting on 6s because I'm concealed.
Nope.
All right, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bren teams in there firing at moving rate of fire up the hill. So 4 becoming 5 for concealment, becoming 6 for night fighting.
2 hits.
2 hits. All right, and then because they are, again, all the same team, I'll save.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of the shooting phase. All right, for my turn 2 command step, I just have my reserve rolls, so 2 dice this turn, and I'll get a unit. So I'll choose what unit and move on to movement, and we'll be right back. Okay, so movement step. For my reserves, I chose the Fallschirmjäger platoon. They rolled a 6, so I came in on that corner there.
I'm in trouble.
And are positioning to use their heavy weapons and superior assault skills against the British. Over on this flank, I moved this platoon forward a bit to kind of get into an assault position with the hopes that with the R-35s that were able to move forward by successfully blitzing and then moving. And this platoon that remains stationary to maximize the firepower can pin down that Brit platoon.
Okay.
So we got to crush them now because starting next turn, they start automatically getting reserves on the table. So we're going to move into the shooting phase. All right, I'm going to start on this side and work my way. So the R-35s are going to shoot with MGs into the para platoon. They are 3 shots on the move each. And I'm hitting on 5s because you're in cover. So 3 hits.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3.
Want me to save them separately or together?
It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Okay.
Only one will die. Which one?
The one to the this one.
Okay.
I think the one in the rear is my mortar. No, it's not. Never mind. Whatever.
So then this platoon, stationary rate of fire, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams is 16. I might have to roll this in groups of, yeah, I'll roll this twice, so that's, oh, I know, that's 8. Yep, I can math. That's 8. That's 16 dice.
Sorry, guys, we're having a dumb brain day. It's
Apparently
cloudy and rainy, and I think we're slowly turning into bees.
So you are careful. So you start at 4+. You
Yep.
are in concealment, and you are at night.
Yep.
So 6. 3 more hits, which will be enough to pin you, but only 3 hits. And then this, yeah, so I'm going to assign them to the front.
Okay.
And from this direction, you are in bulletproof cover. So if you fail, I need to make successful firepowers to hurt you. Nope. Okay. I'm actually going to elect not to fire with these ones because I don't want to potentially kill anybody and stop my charge. So we're going to move on to the platoon on the hill over here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rifle MG teams firing down the hill. So 10 shots. You are not in cover, so I'll be hitting you on 5s because of night fighting. Truck in the background. 2, 4, 6, 8.
The joys of living in downtown.
10. Hitting on 5s, like I said. For 3 hits. I'll just assign to the front 3. Doesn't really matter to me.
Nope.
All saved. All right, now the Fucilieri. What we're going to do, that was a platoon of 10 MG34 rifle teams, 2 heavy MG34s, and a 2.8 centimeter. So the way I've got them set up is the MG34s are the heavy MG34s are at the front there, able to shoot down at this platoon. The 2.8 centimeters at the back, and everything else is a rifle MG team. We're going to take 3 rifle MG shots on the pin platoon, and the moving rate of fire of the SMG34s and the 2 rifle MGs that can see past the glider at that platoon. So moving rate of fire for the optional SMG, it's an SMG42, still rate of fire 2 on the move, so we got 4 shots there. And then we got 2 additional moving rate of fire shots from the MG and rifle teams, hitting you again on a 5. For 3 more hits, which will also pin that platoon, and we'll put them on 1, 2, 3. One of which is the mortar, if you wouldn't mind rolling it as a white die.
Yep. Everything saves.
And then we've got, as I said, 2 rifle MG teams on the previously pinned platoon against the riverbank, getting 1 hit. Saving. Okay, so that'll be a good round of shooting for the mixed Italian Germans, pinning down pretty much everything. I'm going to go on to my assault phase, so we'll be right back. Okay, so my assault phase, I've moved everybody. We're going to go through the defensive fire and the assaults one at a time. I just moved everybody for these. So here we move this platoon into engagement range. Bree's got defensive fire from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rifle MG teams and a Piet. I believe Piet will be adding a +1 for slow firing. So you'll be hitting me on 6 for the Piet, 5s for the rest of everybody because it is night fighting and you add +1.
Okay, Piet is the white one.
1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Thankfully not enough to force me back. So the 3, well, I guess that doesn't really matter too much about what roll is what. I will lose 2 teams.
Okay.
So these 2 teams will die. And then my glorious Fucilieri in assault hit on a 5+, by the looks of it. Yep. So we'll start here on a 5+. That will actually kill that team. Interesting. We'll do this one here, because he no longer has him at hit. Nope. And this team here. Nope. Alright, so I killed a single platoon team, and now you may test a counterattack. I believe you are fearless. So you can counterattack. Now you can move up. Do you wish to move up?
Yes, please.
Right. So, what is your assault rating on your pair? I don't think we looked that up because I'm smart.
I believe it's 5 when we checked last time. Oh, no, I lied. It's 3.
Okay, so 1 die, because you got 1 team in contact. Nope. On this dude, because you got 2 teams in contact. Yep.
Yep.
And the other dude beside him, again, 2 teams in contact. No. All right, so now I counterattack again, and I do have my commander nearby for rerolls. Was that enough?
That was 5.
Yes, they are reluctant. So I'll take the commander reroll, and I will fall back.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Okay, over there we've got the Fallschirmjäger in contact with that paraplatoon. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold on, let me recount that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rifle MG teams and a Piet. Able to defensive fire.
Piet on 6, everything else on 5?
Yep.
Piet is white.
2 hits.
2 hits. Move my dice out of your way.
Good to go.
Okay.
Now, Fallschirmjäger also are veterans, so 3+. So over there, we've got 2 teams on a paraplatoon, or sorry, a Brit para, and 2 teams on the other Brit para. So we'll just do these in rolls of 2.
Mm-hmm.
One's dead, and one's dead. So now Bree has to test a counterattack.
I counterattack.
All right, we're gonna roll the rest of this out just to cut down on some time, and we'll be right back. Okay, well that did not go anywhere near as planned. I lost all 4 of my assaulting teams. I only killed 2 of the Brits, and I fell back, and she consolidated back. We got 1 last assault left to do. We'll just roll that out and be back with the results. And those Italians were able to push back that paraplatoon, oddly enough, so that's a thing. We're going to move into turn 3, daybreak, and the start of British reinforcements. Okay, so the start of the British command step, we're going to start by unpinning that team all the way over there on a 3+.
The unpin.
The one behind that glider over there.
Unpins.
And the one in front of me here.
Unpins.
Okay, now we're going to do the reserve rule. Starting on turn 3, we roll 1 die. However, to represent the fact that these reinforcements did actually arrive on time, well, not quite on time, but just after everything. If she's unable to get at least 1 each turn, she's guaranteed 1. That's the other modification of the mission that we did. So she gets 1 platoon. So she'll choose that, and all British vehicle reinforcements will be coming on from this edge here. Everything else will be scattered, so we are going to move into movement step. Take us through your movement step.
Okay, so my reserves, I decided to bring on my Shermans and just tactical them up the roadway there, so hopefully they can fire some shots up the hill.
Paratrooper platoon.
Thank you. The paratroopers right here just kind of moved up a little bit to try and take out the remaining parts of this force. The remaining bits of these paratroopers are going back up the hill, and that is it for my movement.
All right, we'll get on to shooting. All right, for your shooting phase, what are we going to do?
Paratroop A here is going to shoot the guys on the hill.
Okay.
We're going to try and range the mortars back in on top of the same target as before.
You had mentioned the Piet in that platoon was going to shoot the tanks if it's got range?
Yes.
Okay, we have to double check the range there, though.
Yes. Paratroop B is going to try and shoot you.
Fallschirmjäger?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Paratroop C is going to shoot back up the hill. And then the Shermans are going to fire some cannons also at the hill.
All right, so let's get to rolling. Let's do the Shermans first. We got 3 shots. The closest target is within 16. Am in concealment, so 4 becoming 5.
1 hit.
All right, 1 hit on him. 3+. He saves.
That's a very good save.
All right. What's next?
Next, we will do the guys shooting up the hill.
Okay, so them over there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bren rifle MG teams. 1 shot each, hitting on 5s. 2 more hits on them. 1 which fails, but because I was able to reoccupy my foxholes, you now need to take a firepower check, which is a 6+ on a rifle MG.
No.
Okay. And then on the Fallschirmjäger, you've got 2 teams that can fire because they're moving. For 2 hits. For 2 saves.
Okay.
And then over here, right, the Piet I believe is 8-inch range. So not quite within range yet. Okay, so then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rifle MG teams on this platoon here. They are stationary, so they're in cover. So 4 becoming 5. 3 hits, not bad.
3 leaves.
I'll lose 2.
Okay.
And then the last thing was the mortar bombardment, and it was going to go on top of the Bredas again, right?
Yep.
All right, so still terrain underneath the template, but not at night, so it's only going to need a 5. First attempt. Ranges in on the second attempt. We won't bother checking. I know it'll hit all 3. So just 3 dice, adding +1, so hitting on a 5. All 3.
3 hits.
Okay. 1 failed, so firepower. Which I think on them is a 4+.
I think. Would you like me to check?
No, it's a 4+.
No.
All right, so that pins them down though. So let me mark that. And were you contemplating assaults?
I didn't succeed in pinning any of your stuff down. At least not that I can actually assault at. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay, we'll roll right into Italian. Turn 3. All right, so my command step, turn 3, I'm going to unpin or attempt to unpin the Bredas. They unpin.
Okay.
Yeah, because the rally's a 4+. And then I get 3 dice for reserves on turn 3. And I'll get a unit. So we'll move on to my movement step. Okay, so movement step. Reserves first. I chose the Sembavantes, the 9053s. They moved on at their only movement speed of dash. Oh yeah, I just used that to mark where they came on.
Yep.
Then the R35s moved up farther along to position for an assault. This Fucilieri platoon decided discretion may be the better part of valor and are going for the slightly easier target of the mortars. And then everything else remained stationary just to kind of maximize as much firepower as they've got.
Okay.
So we're going to go on to shooting.
All right.
All right, I'm going to start from this flank, work my way across. We're going to start with the R35s. They're going to use their machine guns on the in-cover paras in front of them. So 3 shots each, hitting on 5s because of cover. 1, 2. Only 2, eh? All right, I'm going to put 1 on your Piet and on there. You are too close for mistaken target, I believe, so just on to the rolls. So Piet first, please.
Piet is white.
Yep.
Both safe.
All right. So then this platoon got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rifle MG teams firing at stationary rate of fire. So that'll be 12 shots. Hitting on 5s for a fair few more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, one of which I'll put on Piet. 2, 3, 4, 5, and too close for mistaken target.
Okay.
So Piet in white, the other 5, please.
You mean the other 4?
Yes.
Piet.
Math is hard.
Again, guys, we our brains are dying today. Sorry.
Well, I killed 1 team and I pinned down the platoon, but I could not kill the Piet. Interesting. All right, so we're going to move on to the company advancing up the hill. Here, only 2 guys will have line of sight to shoot. Hitting on 5s. Nope.
Okay.
Over here, this
Hill company.
Hill platoon will shoot down at the paras. 1, 2, 3, 4. Firing at rate of fire 2 is 8 shots. You are not in the not in cover because you did move last turn. So hitting you in 4s for 4 hits. And I'll just put them on the front 4. I don't particularly care which, so you can just save as you want. Killing a team, okay. And then last thing is my Fallschirmjäger. The two SMG-34s will engage the platoon in front of them, and the rest of the platoon will engage your para-platoon behind the glider. So we have 12 shots stationary rate of fire on the MG-34s, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rifle MG teams firing twice, and the 2.8 centimeters just not going to bother. And they are able to shoot over each other because they did remain stationary. So I'll do the rifle MGs first. So we got 12 shots as well from them against the platoon behind them, not in cover. Hitting on 12s. Hitting on 12s. Hitting on 4s.
Yeah.
Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 saves, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. So I'll put it on everything except a Piet. Killing a team, which will pull off shortly, and then 12 shots into the platoon between them and the Italian platoon at the front of the glider over there.
Yep.
Hitting on 4s as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was a 6 I just moved.
Yep. We
Pull
have
those
video
out.
evidence.
And we've got 4 teams left, so 2 will get 2 hits.
Okay, I'll roll the 2 of the 2 hits first, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First one.
He's dead.
Second one. Whoops.
He's dead. And then just 2 saves on the other 2 teams. Or 1 save each on the other 2 teams, sorry. Both dead. So that actually will wipe that platoon.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of my shooting. So I've got a assault to do. We'll be right back.
All right.
All right. Turn 3 Italian assault. My R35s have charged in. We've got a Piet that can potentially hurt me. So Bree will roll. You are not pinned. No. Yeah, you are not pinned. So that'll just be hitting me on a 4.
Nope.
Okay. So then I will swing with my R35s in assault. They are hitting on a 3+ because they did upgrade when they came on. So we've got 2 on one, 1 on another. So we'll do the 1 first. That team is dead, and the other team is also dead. Now, my top armor is 1. You could potentially hurt me with your improvised anti-tank of 2. Do you wish to counterattack or just fall back?
I will try and counterattack.
Okay, 3+.
Okay.
So your teams will move in. You can get 1 there. This guy will have enough to get to here, and you can get on that one there. So 1 at a time. You are hitting me on a 3 because your skill is 3+.
I'll start with the small base and then work around.
Hits.
Hits.
Next. Hits and last.
Hits.
All right. So your improvised anti-tank is 2. My top armor is 1. You could potentially bail me out. I do not know what the firepower in improvised anti-tank is. I just quickly double checked the rulebook. Improvised anti-tank, it is anti-tank 2, but it is also a firepower 1+. So I will now test to counterattack with my tanks. Their counterattack is a 4+. The counterattack. So I've got 2 now that are able to attack. So this one on the team beside him. And that is dead. And the one on the other team, that is also dead. So that's those 2 teams. And then Bree, your last team can attempt to counterattack.
It does.
Okay.
It's bailed out, so
Will automatically hit,
Yep.
which will then go to an armored check, I think, which will bounce it. Then I would counterattack. And then these would move in. And swing. And swing. Killing him. And then guys, just let us know if we did that right. I'm a little iffy on tank counterattacks against infantry because I hardly ever do them. But I think that's working correctly. So that will be that player platoon, and that will be the end of Italian turn 3 on to a British turn 4. Turn 4 British starting step. We got to unpin that platoon all the way over there by the glider on a 3+.
the
Yep.
unpin.
And then we checked formation morale. We still have 2 platoons there and there in good spirits. So we're going to go on to reserves with 2 dice and a guaranteed reserve coming on. Getting 2 troops, so we'll go on to move it. Alright, in the British movement phase, Bree is going for broke with her paras, positioning for a potential assault on the Fallschirmjäger. The Shermans successfully blitzed and then attacked forward, so they are now within 4 inches of the objective. She chose a universal carrier platoon for one of her reinforcements. And she also chose the planes as the second one. We forgot to roll on camera to see if they arrived after they were entered in from reserve. They did, so they're positioning to bomb my R-35s there on the point. And that's about it. So we're going to go on to some shooting. Okay, the start of the British shooting step, turn 4. We're going to attempt to spot in these Kitty Hawks on a 4+ on top of the R-35s. On the first attempt, you're going to hit all 3 of them. And they are hit on a 3+ because they are aggressive.
All 3 hit.
Okay. Your bomber flight is anti-tank 3 with 500-pound bombs. My top armor is a 1. They will all bounce.
Okay.
Okay. And then just to double check, where'd the artillery template go? Underneath my book here. What did I do with it?
Our foresight, once again.
What did I do with any of them? Here we go. Just going to double check to see if we clipped any of the infantry as well. Looks like we hit 2, so roll for them. Also on a 4+ with these ones, sorry.
Nope.
Okay. So they will fly off at the end of the turn. Then we're going to repeat bombardment on the Bredas. 3 dice, hitting on 4s.
Nothing hit.
Okay. And then your Sherman platoon, the one has position to fire his machine guns into the Bredas or his cannons, depending on what Bree wants. And then the other 2 are firing up on the hill.
I'll do machine guns. 2 shots.
2 shots?
2 shots.
Are you sure about that?
Pretty sure.
Pass me the rules. Just going to double check the Sherman Armored Troop Sicily. So 50 cal moving is 2, and then regular MGs is also 2. So remembering, when you're firing machine guns, it's all machine guns. Fire at the same time.
Oh.
Or you fire your cannons.
4 shots.
2 50s and 2 regular MGs. So 2 hits on the Bredas, which are the 50s. And they'll save.
Okay.
And then what do you want to do? Cannons or machine guns on the rest?
Machine guns on the rest.
Okay. So 4
8.
50s and 4 regulars. You're going to want to roll these separately because the 50s actually do have a better firepower.
Okay, 50s first.
1. No, actually.
No.
Because I'm concealment.
Yep, so. And the others. 2 hits.
Okay. 1 fails, so a 6 of firepower.
Nope.
No. And then you've got 3 Bren gun teams firing at my Fallschirmjäger on the other side of the table.
Moving rate of fire 1.
Yep. Hitting on 5s.
2 hits. 2 saves.
Alright, and I think that will be your shooting phase.
I think so.
So, Bree was thinking about an assault. Did you want to attempt to assault the Fallschirmjäger? Their defensive fire very well might rip you apart, though.
Huh?
The defensive firepower of the unpinned platoon may well rip you apart, though.
Yeah. YOLO, we're doing it.
Alright, well, we'll be right back with the results. And rather unfortunately, my unpinned machine guns and rifle MG teams ripped apart the charging troops, forcing them to die. So we're going to move into Italian turn 4. Alright, I don't have anyone pinned this turn, so just my 3 rolls for reserves. I'll get a single unit, so I'll do my movement step and be right back. Alright, so movement step. For my reserves, first I chose my 47mm guns. They rolled to come on from that corner, so at the farthest step they could, they tacticaled in. They unfortunately cannot get line of sight to the Shermans this turn. The Fallschirmjäger dashed forward as well, hoping to, next turn, if I have a next turn, get some shots to help deal with the oncoming 8th Army guys. The middle Italian Fucilieri platoon moved up to engage the mortars. The R-35s moved up the road at their tactical speed and are going to attempt to shoot the Shermans. Really don't think it's going to be able to hurt. The Italian platoon here just kind of took position around that point, and the Semivente anti-tank guns successfully blitzed and then successfully crossed and moved up with their terrain dash as well. So they are in a good position for my next turn, if it's there, to put some hurt on those Shermans.
Okay.
So we're going to move into my shooting phase. So it's going to be a pretty quick shooting phase. The R-35s, they have barely enough range to hit the Sherman, but they can't hurt it because their anti-tank's 4 and the front armor Sherman is 6. So just the Fucilieri platoon over here shooting at the mortars. I've got 3 guys that can fire on the move. So hitting you on 5s because you're concealed with 1 hit. So 1 saving throw on 1 mortar, please.
Nope.
Kills it. Okay. And then, unfortunately, that is about all I'm going to shoot this turn because everything else that actually has line of sight to a target can't hurt the target.
Yeah.
So we're going to move straight into a assault phase, and we'll be right back with the potentially unlikely results. And in the assault, the Fucilieri platoon was able to contact the mortars. I only killed 1, but they failed their fallback. So
You killed 2, darling.
I thought I killed 1.
Nope, you killed 2.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently I killed 2. I could have swore I killed 1. Either way, they failed their counterattack and fell back. So we're going to move into start British turn 5 and see if they can win. All right, British turn 5. This might be very quick. We checked formation morale to start. There was only the single platoon left of the para company, so they fall back off the table now. However, there are 2 platoons of the motor rifle company, one of the scout platoons, and the Shermans on the table. So that will keep you in the game. And then we go straight to reserves.
3 dice?
3 dice with
3
an
dice.
automatic guaranteed 1. So 1 unit will come on, so we'll do the movement phase and be right back. Like I said, very quick. So Bree, for her reserves, chose another scout platoon. They advanced in. The first universal carrier scout platoon, just tactical forward to put some MG fire onto the Italians on the hill to keep them pinned down. And the Shermans kind of advanced a little bit across the bridge, hoping to assault the machine guns, if they aren't killed. So we're going to roll right into shooting phase. Alright, so the Shermans are going to start by shooting up the Berettas with their machine guns. We got 2 50s and 2 MGs each. Hitting on 5s.
So 2 hits, 3 hits.
150 and 2 MGs. So we'll do 50 and the MGs.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the one with the 50 on them potentially dies, and the 2 with the MGs all potentially dies. So we're going to do firepower checks. Now, the 50 has a firepower of a 5+, and the MGs have a firepower of a 6+. So just use the same dice right there. And just roll them together. Red is the 50. So the 50 kills one. Not bad.
Yay!
Alright, and then you've got the other Sherman can shoot up the hill, either cannons or MGs.
Oh, MGs.
Okay.
That one's
Cocked, so reroll it. Okay, 1 hit. Firepower, please. No. Alright, and then your universal carriers, they are 3 shots each. You've got 3 in the platoon. So 9 shots at my dudes on the hill. Hitting on 5s, because I'm in cover. Damn.
finally a decent roll this game.
That's not bad. 3 potential deaths with 6 up firepowers.
1 dead.
Perfect. All right. But that will be her shooting phase. So we'll be right back with the assault results. All right. And at the end, Bree just elected to charge her 2 Shermans into the machine gun platoon that she shot up. She killed 1. But I failed to counterattack to attempt to kill or stop her, so I will fall back to here, and she will end her turn with no enemies within 4 inches of that objective, and having started her turn with no enemies within 4 inches of the objective, getting her a victory. Well, that was a little fast towards the end there. A lot of stuff just couldn't get line of sight, and I didn't want to leave my foxholes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another British victory for another Allied victory. So I think you have probably end up going to take Catania now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think,
I honest to the gods did not think I was going to get that one. I was surrounded. I was outnumbered. You squished me in like turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
If not for my armored reinforcement, there's literally no way. There's literally no way.
Yeah, no, it was honestly, it legitimately was because you got that Sherman platoon and the carrier platoon on that you still had some guys left in the formation in that last turn there. So
we thought, but turn 4, that I had no formation. And we were like,
you had
wait.
2 platoons. I forgot you only had. I thought you only had 1, but you had 2. So
yeah,
almost an Italian victory. Almost.
Very close.
It'll happen soon, I'm sure. As you saw, my dice were actually working today. So that was neat, you know, and the gliders. I know we're using 2D paper markers for it, but I think that was kind of cool. I had no idea where you were going to land. I kind of had to cover everything with what I had on the table. Thankfully, the Fucilieri are cheap enough. I had some stuff on the table. Yeah. Some Aventas didn't get to do much, but the R35s honestly did a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, I kind of expected them to fall apart like wet paper mache the second something looked at them the wrong way. So,
had the Shermans actually shot them?
Yeah, but they actually held their own in assaults. And
so I might have to get more of those. Get a whole company of like 30 of them for like 30 points. Yep. It'll be fun. But so that was the last of our round 1 games, folks. We'll be putting up the next round attack video sometime after this, and trying to get those games filmed as quickly as possible. My schedule for work again has picked up a little bit, so I'm on weekend training. We may not be having videos up every week, as you may have noticed, as much as we wanted to, but we'll try and keep things as consistent as we can. And you know, thank you so much for your support as always, guys. You know, likes, shares, especially subscriptions really help us out here. Trying to get to a point where we can more regularly do this and have it support us a little bit, so we can devote a little bit more time to it. So if you are wanting to, feel free to help us out by dropping a like, sharing us around, hit that subscribe button, check us out on Patreon, on Facebook, on Instagram, and join us on Discord if you want to chat with us. So as always, guys, we're pulling for you, so keep your sticks on the ice.
Take care, guys.
Wow.